President Trump's private club, private residence, also where he went after being president. Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach was just raided by the FBI. We know that not from sources, but from President Trump himself, who says the FBI agents showed up and broke open one of his safes. Maggie Haberman of the New York Times reporting that they were after 15 boxes of material requested by the National Archives that he had taken with him after his time of being president that included classified information. Whether that is all they were after or how that relates to any investigations, we don't know, because the FBI and the Department of Justice aren't talking. Batya Ungar-Sargon with us now, deputy opinion editor of Newsweek. Batya, I keep coming back to this. If you're going to raid the president's private office, the former president's private office, don't you have a better communications plan set up after months of planning for this raid than the Department of Justice and the FBI both playing the no comment game?
It is so disrespectful to the American people. And like you, the comment that you made earlier, Leland, how can you treat people like that who voted for this person like a common criminal without any explanation, right? There is something about this that is very, very disrespectful to the American people, not to have at the ready some kind of explanation.
Yeah, look, you have to leave open the possibility, right, that the FBI knows something that we don't, that there's some smoking gun that they have found that they went and got a warrant for. Warrants are easy to get, but that they went and got this and came out with it. But for an administration that promised to be all about the rule of law, all about transparency, all about returning credibility to the institutions of America, maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe this is another Russian collusion investigation. We don't know. Full stop, we don't know. But the idea that they wouldn't try to restore the sense of integrity and sense of trust by being overly transparent is just kind of bewildering to me, with the investigation totally aside.
It's deeply, deeply upsetting, especially given that we know that many of the former president's supporters feel already that the deep state is a problem. They feel already that President Trump was undermined as president by a lot of these people who were holdovers from a previous administration. We're exactly like you said, we are supposed to be creating unity. That's what President Biden promised. We're supposed to be respecting each other, people who voted for the other candidate. And this lack of transparency I just keep coming back to it. It is so disrespectful to not explain to the American people what is happening here. Something that happened in the morning, right? We're learning about it only through Truth Social, right? There's something really wrong here.
Yeah, I think about this. Look, the FBI doesn't talk about their raids. That's kind of their thing. So the way the former president broke his news is interesting. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.